Hey everybody, this is Josh Paul, host of the Small Marketing Teams podcast. I'm really glad that you're checking out the show today. If you're trying to grow your business and you're not a household name or a well-funded startup, you need to do things differently, and that's what we get into on this podcast. If that's you, go ahead and click subscribe on the screen right now so that you'll get notified when we put out new tips, new tutorials, and new advice for small marketing and sales teams. They know what the answer is. They know what you're going to tell them. They know that it's just a sales pitch that you're going to try to convince them that they need those things. Small Marketing Teams, episode 30.
You're listening to the Small Marketing Team Show with Josh Paul, the podcast where you'll learn how to achieve big growth without a big budget.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in to today's session of the Small Marketing Teams Show, the podcast that marketers, salespeople, and business owners rely on to learn how to do more with less. Each week, I'll teach you how you can grow your company without the big budgets that we associate with marketing today. Whether you're the only marketer in your company, and you're also the salesperson, the CEO, and the person who does payroll, or you have a marketing team big enough to need an org chart, you're in the right place. I'm your host, Josh Paul. Let's get started. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 30th episode of the Small Marketing Teams podcast. Thank you for taking time out of your day to get some fresh insight for you, not for the big brands, not for the household names, not for the well-funded startup, but for you and me and everyone else out there that is working with limited resources, a small team, and still has to grow their company. So today I'm going to talk about one of the big mistakes that I see companies making that are still figuring out content marketing. If you've listened to this podcast, you know that we focus on things that you can change today that make a big impact on traffic, leads, and sales. Success with a small marketing team is all about leveraging small changes that change your direction and get you on the path to growth, not finding ways to find money in your budget for a big sponsorship spend or a big conference spend or to hire a bunch of cold callers. Small things that you can do that when they add up will make a big difference. So let me start with a stat. There are 1.7 million new blog posts published every day. Actually, folks, I just made that up. It's not 1.7. It is 4.5 million new blog posts published every day. What does that mean for your company that is publishing content to get found? It means that the competition is fierce. Not only does your blog content need to be very high quality, but your headlines need to be high quality too. And the headlines is the promise of what is in the content. So they're tied closely together. You can't have great content and a terrible headline, or a great headline and terrible content. They're very closely tied together. And one of the things that I see companies with small marketing teams do that when they're just trying to figure out how to publish to get found and to spread their message and to attract people is they create why headlines. Now, what is a why headline? It's a headline that starts with why. I have a point I want to get across, so I'm going to create a thought leadership piece that starts with why. Let me give you an example of this. For those of you who know my story, I used to work for a software company that provided a customer community platform to associations, user groups, large enterprises. And so the type of article that the executives in the company would want me to write is why Fortune 500 companies need an online customer community. If you're in the real estate business, you might write why you need to work with a realtor to sell your home. An example from my current consulting company would be why lead management is the key to more sales. What do you notice about all of those, other than they're not that compelling? If you're thinking that they're veiled sales pitches, you're absolutely right. It's basically saying you need a realtor to sell your home. You need lead management to scale your sales. Let me explain to you why you need an online customer community. It's not even a great job of hiding that. That's all that is. And when someone sees that online, that's what they're going to think. They know what the answer is. They know what you're going to tell them. They know that it's just a sales pitch that you're going to try to convince them that they need those things. Even when you put it in the third person, it's not that compelling. That's the next level of trying to bury the sales pitch in a thought leadership blog post. Why enterprise software companies use online communities. Why companies that want to increase sales turn to lead management. It's still a point that I want to get across to you, and you as the reader know that. So you're not going to click on that. It's not as compelling. Now, why articles still, they can work, but the standard is high. They must be curiosity based. They can't be a sales pitch. They can't be something obvious. The person who's reading that headline, that promise of what's in the article, can't have an idea of where this is going to go. It has to make people scratch their head when they see that. An example would be why half of Florida will be underwater in the next 20 years. Say, what? I've heard about that, but I want to know what the reason is. Another example is why email won't be part of your marketing strategy by 2025. Say what? Your why article, your why headline needs to take people, it needs to stop them in their tracks, needs to stop their scroll on their mobile phone when they see that. Now, the problem is why articles like that, while they'll get somebody to click, people will spend less time on the page because once they're there and once they know the answer, they'll leave. Oh, okay, that's what they're talking about. That's why half of Florida will be underwater in the next 20 years. So they'll get you more clicks. It's more clickbait-ish than it is long-term value-ish. So they may get somebody's attention, they may get somebody to click, but once they know, okay, that's why they're saying that email won't be part of your marketing strategy by 2025, they're gone, they're out of there. There's no more to read. Now, on the other hand, what will work is how-to articles. So you need to squash the impulse, and everybody who's new to content marketing wants to turn a sales pitch into a why article, into a why blog post. But resist that urge and turn to how-to articles. These are more utilitarian articles that have more evergreen value to your reader. How to accomplish X. 10 steps to achieve Y. You want to teach them how to do something. And not just on the surface level, how to engage your customers. Number 1, understand your audience. I fought that for years. It was awful, but you're going to see it. So you have to go deeper. Teach them to do something. Now, the reason why people want to write why articles instead of how-to articles, because how-to articles are 2 reasons. One is they're harder to write. You have to be specific and give specific steps and value and examples and screenshots. It takes longer to write. The other is people are afraid to give away their secret sauce. But you do want to give away as much value as you can in the form of how-to articles. People want to know how to do things that are going to save them time, make them money, or sometimes even save them money. Now, these how-to articles may sound boring. It's a utility-based article that holds a lot of value, but it's a lot more evergreen, but it doesn't have that spark that why is half of Florida going to be underwater in the next 20 years? It doesn't have that spark that an article like that does. But you can add that boost and add curiosity by coupling your how-to article with the word without. So let me give an example from my consulting company. A how-to article might have this title. This is actually the title of a webinar. So this applies to webinars as well as our blog posts. But how to turn more inbound leads into sales. Okay, people want to know that. It's a problem. It's problem-based, and they want to know how to solve it. So let's add the word without. How to turn more inbound leads into sales without firing your current sales team. That adds that curiosity that's going to stop people in their tracks. How to sell your house in less than 30 days without giving away 7% to realtors. So by coupling your how-to, the steps to get something done that is really important to them, with your without, and that without needs to be something that they would expect you to have to do. You expect to have to pay full commission to realtors. You expect to have to turn over your sales team in order to get them to work inbound leads because you've tried and it just doesn't work. So you want that without to be compelling and to be the thing that they fear or the thing that they think they're going to have to do to achieve that goal. How to lose 15 pounds in 2 weeks without spending 1 minute in the gym. They say, what? I've got to click on this. And so not only do they click on it, but there's value there where you're actually showing them the steps. And in showing them the steps, you're building trust, showing them that you are an authority on the topic, as well as weaving in your methodology and, in turn, your sales pitch. But it doesn't lead with your sales pitch and start and end with your sales pitch. And that's all you're giving them. You're giving them value that they want to consume and share and take the next step with you to learn more about. So just to wrap it up for today, the competition has never been more stiff to get the attention of your buyers. And that goes for content marketing and outbound marketing and advertising. And so what I don't want you to do is hamstring your efforts by starting with the basic rudimentary why articles. You're going to put a lot of time into it and you're going to wonder why it's not getting you results. Turn to how-to articles because they're more evergreen, they provide more value for longer, and then double down and boost the curiosity of those articles by pairing your how-to title with your without statement. Using this methodology, you're going to get their attention, you're going to get the clicks, and you're going to get the credit for helping your target audience achieve something that's important to them.